category, and it is not very often to see an airliner flying at back altitude. Now flying away at 160 knots, turning away from us and climbing to about 2,000 feet. The aircraft that we see flying today, MSN-59, is actually the very first prototype of the A350-1000, and it made the A350-1000's first flight on the 26th of November 2016. The A350-1000 is the longer fuselage version of the A350, and the total length of 73.8 metres. It seats around 350 to 410 passengers in 3 classes, and it can operate routes of up to 8,900 nautical miles. This model features a more powerful version of the Rolls-Royce Trent XWB 97, versus the shorter A350-900, which is slightly less powerful. As of the end of June of this year, 1,595 A350 aircraft have been ordered from 68 customers, and 725 have been delivered. They're flying on 1,300 routes around the world. The first of them entered service in 2015, and this version, 1,000, entered service in 2018. The A350 family is constantly evolving. The newest incremental improvements include a 4-inch wider cabin, combined with a 1.2-ton structural weight reduction and a 3-ton increase in maximum take-off weight, which gives capability for extra payload range flexibility. In September of 2023, EASA certified the new 322 metric tons maximum takeoff weight for the A350-1000, and this new maximum takeoff weight boosts the aircraft's range by about 180 nautical miles, giving that impressive range of 8,900 nautical miles in total. Further proving the flexibility of the A350 family, the A350-1000 features a very high level of commonality as compared to the smaller version, the Dash 900. 95% common parts and the same type rating as well, the type rating being the type-specific qualification that pilots need to fly it. The specialised version, called the A350 ULR, or ultra long range, the A350 900 ULR already in service, and the forthcoming A350-1000 ULR still in testing. It's been selected by Qantas for its Project Sunrise, and their aircraft will be specially configured to enable the world's longest commercial flights with flight times of around 22 hours. For example, linking Sydney and Melbourne with destinations such as London and New York non-stop for the first time ever. It flew for the very first time on the 2nd of June this year, and there is some exciting news about the A350-1000.
So, Lieutenant Mike, I'm going to hand it over to you. Take it away, sir.
Thank you again, Joe. So, a pair of RAF Typhoons gave us a little taste a moment ago. Now, the full display is about to roll in. 1 o'clock, so main course time. Fast the boat. 80% of all operational missions flown by Eurofighters nation today are flown by Typhoon. Releasing joint patrols, combat missions, quick reaction alerts, standing ready around the clock across Europe and the Middle East, showing up for the Airshow, so well and good. But that's a jet, it turns up every day, shows up in operations when it matters most. But after a quick check, it's back around to its way running. Windows up, invert. Flying upside down with absolute precision, every movement is managed by the aircraft's sophisticated digital flight control system, constantly keeping Typhoon stable, responsive, and under control. This comes to drag, but the interaction creates an area of intensely low pressure of the upper surface, but pressure beneath remains higher. So the jet keeps reducing power to lift and exceed angles of attack, long after conventional wings would have stalled. Slow roll. Graceful rotation through the axis. Aircraft seemingly suspended in mid-air. 3 rolls downward and then 45 degree climb. Energy J200 waiting electric symphony without an effect of 19 sound. And now Mattia climbs the vertical floor. Unfortunately, the last maneuver to display a vertical climb, rolling invertically upwards, gear deployed deliberately under load, a demonstration of the aircraft performance margin, even at extremes of the flight envelope. And it's time to come back home.
Maintain formation during the complex maneuvers, having trained to stay as close to the rotor back. You'll go back to the deck now, see the wild pattern cuts its own 180 degree wing over, before it roots back towards us. The wing over being one of the most efficient ways. You'll now see Eagle 3 in front of us, pull up, give us a unique chance to see the aircraft close up for the first time. Over to your left now as well, Eagle 1 and 2 pull up, flying even more dynamic wing over. Just looking to pull 60 degrees. Way up to 10 times. You'll see Eagle 3 pull up, do a 270 wing over in depth before it moves out to the left. Now, second three view, Eagle 1, Eagle 2, find the most complicated manoeuvre on the display, move a 360-degree wing over. As before, the aircraft goes 6 degrees nose up, rolls 90 degrees angle back. Now the pilot turn the aircraft back over their shoulders in 360 degrees. You'll also see the wildcat off to the left enter a rapid climb out of the wing over. This is operationally used going through the small arm track band, showing the power its two engines, each producing over 1,300 horsepower. Today, however, Eagle 3 has paused the rapid climb impressively, bringing the aircraft to a hop and stop turning. Truly agile platform. Now you see it's moving down and dive. It's a great opportunity to grab a photo of all three aircraft in the same camera frame for the first time. The Eagles will now do their opposite path to the centre of the airfield. The Eagle 3 is a wildcat inclusion. Safely past one another, Eagle 1 and Eagle 2 are now pulling up what can also be practically known as a return to target. Operationally, this manoeuvre can be employed to rapidly achieve height, turn the aircraft 380 degrees, and in the Apache's case, to deploy the 30mm cannon and 2.7-inch rockets onto a target. This is particularly useful in the low-level environment where the enemy may attempt to ambush and take opportunistic shots at the Apaches as they thunder or neutralise that enemy threat. To the right now, Eagle 1 and Eagle 2 will pull up to their final mirror in 270-degree wing over. And interestingly, this is now where the formation will split to 3 individual aircraft. With Eagle 2 exiting their wing over early to pass through Eagle 3's lane. Adding new competitors this way, demonstrating the coordination and cooperation of each crew as they continue to adapt and fly. Going to the front now, Eagle 3 will fly to the bottom, set themselves up, and quite rapidly fly one or more Hellfire missiles. We're capable of selecting multiple variants of this missile, land tank, tank building, and track personnel. The missile is stage guided with a new Joint Air to Ground Munition, or JAGM, being the latest variant of the missile, with a laser and radar guiding capability. Finally, you've probably also seen the fire control radar that sits on top of the aircraft. This can detect 1,024 targets, including small drones, prioritise 256 of these, help the pilots to shoot the most dangerous 16, all while passing the others via a data network to other aircraft to engage. Approved by Staff Sergeant Sean Tools. Eagle 1 today, joined by Major Robert Craig, Captain Adam Roberts. Eagle 2 was flown by Mr. Tim Craigheim, one of our ex-military Apache instructors now employed by Boeing, civilian instructor, etc. Flying in the front seat, Captain Craig Moon. It's been my pleasure. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for 2026 Army Air Force Safety. Not just the crews who get the aircraft in, it's every member of the 1st Aviation Brigade, UK's only fighting aviation brigade. The team would also like to thank our ground crew and engineers for their tireless work. I would also like to take an opportunity to especially thank Major Anthony Thomas Thompson, our chief supervisor this year. I know he's provided safety and assurance for the team, and he's also part of the wealth of knowledge and experience of selecting the state pilot, having previously been a Blue Eagle himself back in the 1920s. So it's the team to use our own. Thank you for everything you've done for us this year. Finally, thanks goes to you, the general public, and all of our friends and family for their constant support. I'm on Instagram at Army Air Corps _display team. Follow us for all future programmes. Please tag us in any questions. But for now, thank you very much for the past couple of days Farnborough Airshow. It's been an absolute pleasure. We hope you enjoy the rest of your afternoon.
Well, thank you very much to the Army Air Corps for that splendid display. It's one of a very small number of shows in which you can see in some context the name Army Air Corps display team, but it brings me so much joy to use that Blue Eagle's name. I was a 10-year-old the last time that name was used at an air show. It's absolutely fabulous to have it back. And now we're going to move on to...
You need to work on that. That's the flow.
We can work on that. But yeah, and you can see looking across now the aircraft, our prototype is starting to taxi towards the runway, and we cannot wait to show everyone what we've been working on. I mean, it's been a pleasure. The 4 days this week to show.
Controls are very much fly-by-wire. It's flying into the computer, and the computer is interpreting these inputs and then transitioning that to the aircraft will feel very steady to it.
There are lots of ways for the computer to do what it wants to do. So if the aircraft needs to accelerate or the aircraft needs to turn slightly, it can use a number of different ways to do that. It could flap some of what we call rudder vapors, which is for a VTOL, something that allows the aircraft to pitch up, move up and move down. And there are other control surfaces which allow it to bank, so it goes left and right. So the computer can decide exactly how it wants, and that's part of our safety solution. Because if for one reason the aircraft has a failure on one particular element around the city, there's lots of ground congestion issues, leaves on the rail line or traffic, and it takes a really long time to get from A to B. So we think this kind of technology can solve that. But wider than that, if you look at transport over the last 100, 200 years, every step change that we've had, whether it be trains, cars, commercial aviation, they've not just brought back people's time, they've actually changed their lives for the better. They've allowed them to connect into new communities. They've allowed us to actually go on holiday, or they've allowed us to do new business. And we look at this aircraft in exactly the same way. We believe will change people's lives. It will connect communities. It might bring a doctor closer to them.
Full stop. Great video. If you've got your videos or your iPhones out, this is the shot because you're looking at aviation history at Farnborough. We're 2026 with the eVTOL, and look at your control. Perfect, steady.
And this is where our pilots have a bit of fun. Hovering around here, spinning to the crowds. I mean, I'd love to be in there. Twisting his controller to command that yaw. And one of the benefits is actually, you'll notice most aircraft have been taking off into and landing into the wind. But what we've done is take off into the wind and landed with the wind, which is another reason our aircraft is extremely versatile.
Another part of the enveloping demonstrated there is he's creeping the aircraft backwards as well. So I think that's done with rotor pitch by making the aircraft come back.
We can do that. Mostly actually get by tilting them back a little bit. So go back just a bit further. We can loosen some of the speed of the motor to the back. It just tilts backwards. Yeah. It's an incredible technical innovation.
And looking at that manoeuvre, I understand the actual practical applications of that, because sometimes you go into a space that's a little tight and you don't want to go straight in because you're going to be coming out. So to be able to rotate and then back into the space in the same way as a car, that's a practical application.
Yeah, this is going to be a really versatile aircraft, and you'll see it when you go into the Hall 4 and see the production version. But the opportunities are endless, from the commercial missions that we've spoken about today to defence. We're looking at integrating what's called autonomy on there, so perhaps not even needing a pilot in the future. It's just such an exciting
Pilots
time.
Association will
In all weather or low light, the cockpit features an enhanced vision system using infrared cameras and a synthetic vision system which allows the pilots to see a simulated view of the terrain outside, which allows for unparalleled situational awareness, whatever the weather. Meanwhile, further back, the passenger cabin can be configured with a variety of options: a club suite, a conference area, an entertainment area with a sofa and a 55-inch television, a bedroom with a full-size double bed and a 35-inch TV. That bedroom can even have an ensuite bathroom with a stand-up shower. Additionally, a second bathroom with a fully equipped galley can be installed at the front of the aircraft. Maximum capacity is for 19 passengers. Aerobatic 1000 is designed to be as versatile as possible, able to operate from relatively short runways, and that is possible due to the carbon.
You feel like ice cream? It's quite warm.
If we have ice cream, we will feel better.
Thrust buckets, thrust reversers deployed, and my goodness, that was a short landing. A fabulous display by Mark Olau, Eric Norberg, and Ed Grabner, who made up the display crew this week. And they were telling us earlier on today, this is the first stunt.
Perfect takeoff. Now the front echelon will slow down as the team leader bends the aircraft around behind us. You can see the team changing shape already as they come back around. Again, I cannot stress how difficult it is to keep within the very restricted airspace in Farnborough, especially with a big wing of 7 aircraft as well. And Aerobatic are exhibiting exemplary airmanship in doing so.
At the same time. After the smoke off, the aircraft will be rolled.
Cameras ready. Back into that kite formation, or an arrowhead. Now it's kite. Pulling the aircraft, the whole team head up to about 5,000 feet, and they'll come running in from the left-hand side for the fourth maneuver. The aircraft will go line abreast, so one bit of the line all the way across, into a loop, and then in the loop into diamond as they come back down out of the top of the loop.
You can see them now, the whole team are
snap the aircraft back around before he pulls the aircraft up into the vertical. And looks like we're going to have a tubing. The aircraft comes over the top. We'll roll the aircraft back around. Roll and pitch back down onto runway 06. Speed building up all the time and also Salute to Busan on MRAS. Still have one.
Lead pilot Tom Cassels and wingman Mike Pickin have more than 50 years of airshow and competition experience between them. They came together in 2021 to form the Starlings, initially flying one extra NG and one CAT 232, but now flying a pair of extra NGs. So far they've been flying in what's called echelon formation, with Mike flying at a 45-degree angle back from the leader, but they've now changed to what's called line astern, one behind the other, as they pitch up into a barrel roll. This display requires a huge amount of trust between Tom and Mike. Tom in the lead aircraft is flying on behalf of the whole team. His job is to position the formation smoothly and accurately. For the duration of the display, he'll probably never even see Mike, but he knows that Mike is just a few feet away. Mike's job is simply to stick as close to Tom as possible, trusting that Tom won't do anything to surprise him. Is an all-composite aircraft that is powered by a Lycoming IO580 engine of some 315 horsepower, giving a maximum speed of 250 miles per hour. It's rated to plus or minus 10 G, or 10 times the force of gravity, and it can sustain inverted flight for up to 4 minutes at a time. But it contains more creature comforts than other versions of the Extra: an IFR-capable glass cockpit, comfortable stitched leather seats, and even an autopilot. Watch now as the team pulls up into their trademark maneuver, the looping 270. They create a perfect circle in the sky with their smoke before twisting the formation towards us, now into a 270-degree turn. Tom and Mike exit to our front, it's definitely time to get your cameras ready as they prepare for probably the best photo opportunity of the display. They pull through a half loop to come back towards us, hanging in the straps now and splitting in the crossing brake. Turn the propeller of the aircraft into a giant gyroscope. Can roll it up to 400 degrees per second, or higher, pilot in the UK.
If you ever wonder if those munitions hide, here is your answer. Fractionally power.
service Northern Scotland with this. One of the big strengths of Beta is its vertical integration approach. The company itself designs and manufactures not only the aircraft, but even the electric motors, the battery systems, the charging infrastructure. So the whole thing is controlled by Beta, and that obviously allows a lot tighter quality control and ensures that operators have access to complete ecosystems rather than simply purchasing an aircraft and then having to go to subcontractors. So Beta's been cleared for a landing. He's downwind at the moment. He's safely, all three wheels, letting it roll down the runway. And this aircraft with the Logan Air logo is going to come back and it's going to be parking up in the static area. So if you want to have a close-up look at it, do go along and have a chat with the guys from Beta Technologies. I'm sure they'll be more than happy to tell us more about the aircraft. Thank you very much. So Adam, what's happening next?
Well, next up, we've done all cargo loads. At 3 tons, this constitutes less than a third of the aircraft's maximum payload, which can comprise a variety of configurations, including item containers, armoured vehicles, or 2 unserviceable helicopters. At the control today is Royal Miller Captain Matt World, better known as Whirling brand, who runs the Second Paris, the world's just last time. I hope you enjoyed the upper congratulations. Proud man, Sam joined the 2034. and arrived on 18th Scotland in 2024. He's already qualified to fly the Chinook in the desert and in Arctic conditions, and as an aerial firefighter in Cyprus. Outside work, Tammy enjoys shish kebabs and crashing weddings. The crew must balance speed with smooth handling to get the Airbus unload safely and accurately into position. Operating the Chinook efficiently requires all 4 members of the crew to work together seamlessly, as the rear crew marshal the aircraft precisely into position and makes the deceleration before flicking the aircraft around the nose, presenting the flat side of the fuselage to the airflow and slowing the aircraft much more quickly. Crewman Sergeant Stretch Armstrong, with prior career stints as a reservist in the RAF Regiment and an Air Operations Officer. Stretch couldn't resist the call of flying, joining 18 Squadron as a qualified crewman in 2023, an impressive portfolio for a man with such practically large hands. Stretch distrusts British Sea biscuits, and his favourite Sandra Bullock film is Speed 2, Cruise Control. Please share the love and give Stretch a big wave. Better or worse, he can see you. As the #1 crewman at the rear of the aircraft, Stretch is responsible for defending the tail with the M60, monitoring aircraft mechanical systems, maintaining lookout for enemy forces, and marshalling of external loads, as well as ensuring cargo, troops, or casualties in the cabin are effectively secure and ready for their next event. During an air assault, Stretches are also the first boots on bringing the aircraft back down to ground centre with a tactical descent. In low-tech threat environments, aircraft are safe at high altitude or very low to the ground, but harder to see or shoot at. Transitioning from high to low is a moment of maximum danger and must be flown as quickly as possible without overstressing the rotor. Safely back at low level, Whirling prepared to reposition the aircraft once more for a running landing. Supporting Chinook operations both at X. Whirling conserves airspeed for as long as it can, layering the aircraft with descent onto the ground at a maximum speed of 60 knots or 70 miles per hour.
Only if we get a ride out here in a helicopter. We'll come back in 2028.
Unlikely. And unfortunately, as I said, because of the loss of the Spitfire, that was the final flying display item for Farnborough 2026. What do you reckon?